Hey everybody, we're back. I'm back with Destinies Sea of Sand. We had a little bit of technical difficulties, but everything's working now. And I just want to assure you that the little bit of the little hiccup we had is related to the cameras that we're running. We're running 4 different cameras on the same computer that we're also running the app on. So no need to worry about whether you might have this issue at home. This is all related to the stream that we're trying to run right now. So with that, I'm going to jump right back into the game where we left off. So where we were was I was introducing the Countess, and we were just about to go talk to Louis, her husband. We had just entered his tent. Louis's tent is deep blue, decorated with embroidered golden lilies. It belongs to the Crusades leader, Louis de Bourbon. The Duke is accompanied by his inseparable spymaster. He greets you. Come, you may speak. We have some options here. We can talk about our destiny with Louis or with his spymaster. We can actually do both. We're also able to ask the spymaster about an item. We don't have any items yet, so probably won't be able to do that. And then we can also sell information to the spymaster, and we're allowed to ask for a document that allows leaving the camp. And these last 2 options, you'll see, have a little blue diamond shape next to it. That indicates that it will be a skill test, and the blue shape shows that it will be an intelligence test. And if you were watching earlier, you know that the skills that this particular character comes with starts the game with intelligence is the stat that she's most that she starts the game most able to roll successes with. So those might be things that I'm interested in trying because I'm relatively likely to be able to succeed at them. But first, because I've played the base game and I know that asking about my destiny is usually helpful, likely to give me useful information, I'm going to ask my husband about my destiny. So I'm going to take this. There we go. This again? You and your modern ways. Can't you stop undermining my authority at least once? Fine, I won't stop you. Do as you please. Perhaps something good could come out of it. You will need a lot of money for all that, so you better start gathering it now. Well, we already knew that. My destiny requires me to secure 4 sources of funding. Speak with the Condo Thierry's General Spinola. You can find him to the south. Perhaps he can spare some coins for all these fantasies. I'm going to make a note of that because I don't want to forget that I need to do that. So, General Spinola to the south. I certainly won't ever turn down the opportunity to get some direction on where I might be able to find the 4 sources of funding that I'm looking for. So now let's see if maybe the spymaster will point me in the right direction. I have heard of a peculiar Coptic merchant arrested in the southwestern part of the camp. He is a wealthy man. Perhaps you could acquire some of his wealth. So that's also interesting and probably worth taking note of. Coptic merchant in the southwest. Okay. And now, before I go, I'm certainly going to at least try to do at least one of these intelligence tests. Either sell information to the spymaster, although I don't really think I have much information yet, or ask for a document that allows leaving the camp, because I have good intelligence. I have an opportunity to succeed at one of these checks, and these I know that I'm going to, from having played the game before, I know that I'm going to have the opportunity to refresh a die at the end of my turn, to refresh one of my purple dice. And because of that, I feel relatively confident using one of them before ending my turn because I'm likely to get it back. So I'm going to go ahead and ask for a document that allows me to leave the camp. And I'm going to roll 1 purple die and the 2 white dice. See, I'll always roll my 2 white dice when I'm doing a test against any of my 3 traits. And I will also roll the purple die. And I'm trying to get the total of these dice. 4, 7, 8, 9 are the numbers that I'm targeting here. So I'm going to roll all of these. And I rolled a 3, and a 2. So a total of 8, which got me 3 successes because I have a pip at 4, a pip at 7, and a pip at 8. If I had rolled a 3, 3, 3, I would have gotten all the way to 9. That would have gotten me 4 successes. So I'll just go ahead and put in 3 right here. Confirm. Yes. I worry about you, my love. Do not go outside the camp on your own. Louis gives you written permission, but he insists that this is the last one he will give. Gain legal document, 19. So I'm going through this stack of items, finding number 19, legal document, and setting that in my items. Okay. Now, while I'm here, this purple die is used, and I still have one that I think I want to save, but I can still do this test, sell information to the spymaster, and just not use any purple dice. I'm just going to go ahead and roll my 2 white dice. But I only rolled 3, so I got 0 successes. That's no good. Yes, that's sadly correct. You tell the latest gossip to the spymaster. I'm already aware of that. And since the legal document is my only item, and, well, I suppose I could ask the spymaster about that. Let's see what he thinks about this. I bet those caravanners down south would pay well for that, to leave this place. All right, so that's interesting. It'd be very interesting to head south and see if we can maybe make some money by selling these legal documents to the caravaneers down there. And with that, we've exhausted all of our options here, so I'm going to go ahead and end my turn. And since we're playing solo, it's my turn again right now, so I'm going to refresh an effort die. And now it's up to us to decide what to do next. So since we have we visited Louis' tent, we can visit the command tent or we can start walking around. I'm gonna... Yeah, I do need more intelligence. Just a little more. So with that in mind, I think I'm going to actually start exploring a little here. Going to explore tile 111. This is the camp area occupied by the Genoese Condo Thierry, which you may remember we got a little hint about earlier, saying that this was a place that we might want to visit. So this section of the camp differs from the rest of the compound. The simple linen tents are arranged in straight, orderly ranks and files. It has this flip the tile. As you walk through the camp, you hear the familiar voice of your servant. Madame! Your young page runs up and bows to you. Madame, I've been asking around as you ordered. He stops for a moment to catch his breath. From what I gathered, within the camp, there are at least a few sources from which one could obtain a large amount of wealth. Oh. I think I should be writing this down. You should visit the quartermaster at the warehouse, the Condo Thierry general at their camp. I think that's where we are already. Quartermaster at warehouse. The Hospitaler's captain at his camp next to the chapel, and French Admiral de Vienne residing on his flagship. There might be more. Perhaps confiscating the wealth from the imprisoned Coptic merchant might yield some. Well, there you go. Sorry about that. I forgot to switch views. Thank you. Okay, so here we have. Apparently, I had sent one of my servants out to gather some information, and he came back to me with a great list of people who I might be able to gather wealth from. So yes, the Hospitaler's captain at the camp next to the chapel, and the French admiral are the two that I was definitely not aware of before. And he is where? On his flagship. I don't know where that is. French admiral on flagship. I have to find that. And the Hospitalers at their camp. Okay. And then we had already learned about the Coptic merchant. So I have 5 potential sources now, and hopefully that will help me to get where I need to be. All right. So we need to place a point of interest here. Condo Thierry's encampment. A rectangular plaza in front of the Condo Thierry general's tent is a meeting area for the Condo Thierry. Now we need some more tiles. There we go. This is an open space serving as a field chapel. Piles of wares fill the warehouse area. Well, that's one of the places we wanted to go. So that will certainly be on my list. Hey, Shane. Yes, I like the Killam plan. This part of the ramparts is facing the city gate. And now we're ready to go. So there aren't actually a whole lot of options for places for me to go here. So I'm just going to go ahead and visit Condo Thierry's encampment. As you approach the tent, the general's henchman throws someone out of his tent, then mockingly toss a few coins into the dust beside him. I can choose to either help him up or steal one of the coins. Yeah, I'm really trying to be the good guy here. I was okay with eavesdropping on my husband, but I'm not going to leave this guy and try to steal his money. You help the soldier to stand up and collect his money. He thanks you and walks away, limping. So, gain 1 experience. So I can use experience to improve my stats. So this will let me gain, which means reduce the value of 2 of the pips on my stats, on my intelligence, dexterity, or strength, so that I can more easily roll successes on them later. So I can use it now, or I can wait until I know what I need it for and use it right when I'm ready to make a roll. So in the encampment, rectangular plaza in front of the general's tent is a meeting area for the Condo Thierry. They entertain themselves with arm wrestling. Their general worries. Tensions are rising. The soldiers want me to pay them now, but paying them before the battle is risky. Desertions may increase. We should negotiate postponing it. So my options are speak with the general about my destiny, gossip with the Condo Thierry, bet a coin to enter into an arm wrestling competition, which sounds really fun, but I am not good at strength, but I would love to do that. Intelligence test to negotiate delaying the payment with the soldiers, or a dexterity check to steal some gold from the general's coffers. Well, as usual, I think I'm going to start by talking to the general about my destiny. I see. I tell you what, speak with my Condo Thierry. If they are willing to postpone receiving their salaries until the end of the campaign, I can support you with a good sum of money. Steal them, then kill them? Well, maybe this time, Shane, I might have to negotiate, then kill them. Um, but maybe before I try to negotiate with them, I'm gonna try to gossip with them, because maybe gossiping with them will help me to get a better feeling for what I might need to do in order to convince them to delay their payment. So I'm gonna roll my 2 white dice plus my one of my purple dice, which I have 2 of. I rolled 4 and 2 ones for a total of 6, which is 1 success. That's not great. You know, that merchant imprisoned next to the ruins to the south? I heard he's a cop, some sort of Eastern schismatic. All right, well, that sounds like the place we need to go for one of these opportunities. So, all right, well, that might be useful. Not useful for what I was hoping for it to be, but let's go ahead and try this negotiation. And I'm going to use my other purple die here. And I rolled a 6 again, which is still not great. So 1 success. The mercenary captains are divided on the matter, but you have to convince them all for this to work. My choices are break the nose of the main naysayer, bribe the main naysayer with, well, I don't have much except for gold. I have some coins. Not really sure I want to use them for this. Or resign. And none of these options are really great for me. One thing I could do is use my experience to increase my strength, but that is not a great option because my strength is still pretty bad. Um, but I think I might go ahead and do that anyway. So I'm going to use my experience to improve my strength from 7 to 5. And then I'll go ahead and try to break his nose. I will, yeah, I do. I should point out that I was assuming that that would lead to a strength test. And I don't have any extra dice to roll with this, so I'm just rolling 2 dice. And I rolled a 5, so I got 1 success that I wouldn't have gotten otherwise. Oh, I still failed. You end up with a bloody nose and feeling like a fool, and I lose 1 strength and 1 intelligence. That's very sad. Okay. Well, having no purple dice left, so punch hard and kill him. Okay. Yeah, that doesn't seem to be working so well for me, Shane. I'm not punching very hard today. I think I'm gonna end my turn here. In the morning, the camp awakens to a loud commotion in the center of the camp. A group of Aragonese knights has instigated other noblemen, and they are all protesting against the current state of the crusade. They threaten that either something must be done about the major problems in the camp, or they will leave. First of all, they demand an end to the childish conflicts among crusaders themselves, namely the feud between the French and the English. They also insist on joining the French and Genoese fleets into one force and on healing the religious rift between the two popes' different supporters. Their list also includes other serious matters, like dealing with the Caliph's vanguard that is harassing the camp and finding a way to stop the disease affecting the knight's war horses. Oh, this is the first I'm hearing about this disease. That's no good. Duke Louis receives the ringleaders of the discontent, and he promises that steps are being made to address these problems. This eases the tension for now, and everyone returns to their stations. Okay, I'm refreshing an effort die, and it's my turn again. So with that in mind, I have a couple of options here. I think I'm going to head this way over to 102 for now, to the field chapel, which is one of the ways that it takes us towards one of the camp that we were directed towards. So I'm going to go ahead and flip that over. The calmest part of the camp, home to the most religiously faithful crusaders and everyone who seeks prayer. The sanctified space serves as a field chapel. The only landmarks are a simple altar and the papal legate's tent. Now I need to find... In just a second, I need to find this mini. There he is. All right, so here we go. Here is our field chapel. And the Hospitalers' encampment. Having a harder time tracking that one down. I'm just going to use a point of interest for now. See if I can snag it in a minute. The field chapel is surrounded by tents belonging to various holy orders and monks. The most numerous of them are the Hospitallers of Rhodes. And now I need a few more of the tiles. So I'm grabbing tile 109, an area used by knights for training and entertainment. I'm not sure what we might find there. And that's it. Well, this Hospitalers' encampment was what I was hoping to find here. So that's where I want to go. You are welcomed with reserve. The Hospitalers' encampment is much more quiet and tidy than the others. Knights entertain themselves with a theological dispute. After asking about your purpose, they send you to their superior, Commando Ricardo. So our choices are to get acquainted with Commander Ricardo or enter the theological dispute. Yes, sorry, Shane. War averted. I'm going to go ahead and get acquainted with Commander Ricardo. You look like a trustworthy person. I'll tell you in great confidence that our crusade is threatened by a danger far greater than the Caliph's relief forces. The city holds a powerful weapon. Should it be unleashed, God have mercy upon us. Duke Louis doesn't want to hear about this, calling it superstition. Perhaps you are willing to help us prepare for this calamity? We're looking for any suspicious artifacts. If you find anything odd, pagan, or ungodly, bring it to me. All right. Well, let's keep our eyes out for anything odd, pagan, or ungodly. Okay, so now we have a new option. We have two new options. We can talk to the commander about our destiny, which we will definitely do. And we can also give them a suspicious item. We don't have one yet, but let's definitely keep our eyes out for that and plan on coming back here. All right, Commander, what can you tell me about my destiny? I see. This is a just cause. Our order is wealthy. If you help us and find any unholy items, we could help you financially in return. Well, that's very nice. So let's uh let's plan on definitely doing that because now we know that they're willing to help me succeed in my destiny if we bring back an odd, pagan, or ungodly item. And with that, well, we could do this. I don't want to use my purple die, but just out of curiosity, I could go ahead and enter the theological dispute and just roll my regular dice, hoping to succeed at my best trait, intelligence. So I rolled a 5, which gets me 1 success. Probably not enough, but it's interesting to find out. When you join the group, the conversation dies off. As far as you can tell, the knights were talking about mysterious artifacts and Mahdia. The conversation quickly turns to more banal subjects. Lose 1 intelligence. Meh. But I do gain an XP, which is nice. That gives me some flexibility to adjust my other traits or back into the same trait later. And now I'm going to end my turn. I know, Shane. They are your favorite things. As you're about to leave, Commander Ricardo warns you, stay away from this bohemian Jew they call the alchemist. He is a suspicious individual involved in black arts. Well, let's keep that in mind. Yes, yay for XP. And yay for refreshing an effort die. I love refreshing an effort die. All right, I'm going to switch back to letting you see the table. And let's go down this way and check out this area used by knights for training and entertainment. So this is a flat area at the edge of camp, and it's an impromptu training ground. Bored knights spend their time here training and entertaining themselves. The knights have arranged benches to spectate at the training ground. They are never empty, and knights meet here to watch the fights, talk, and have a drink in the canteen. There is the canteen. An area of hard, bare ground where knights frequently duel. Some train to stay in shape, others simply for entertainment. Ancient ruins lay at the outskirts of the camp. All right, well, we've heard about these. Definitely want to go check those out. And that's taking us southwest, which is the direction that we were told to go to find one of the other potential sources of wealth. Okay. So while we're here, maybe take a look at the training ground. As you enter the training ground, you see 2 sergeants arguing over a flail. You cannot use this for training. That's too lethal. You're going to smash my skull. Don't be a coward. That's the only weapon I have. Offer an exchange, or none of your business. Well, I don't know exactly what might be in what offering an exchange might entail, but it's possible that this is an intelligence test, and I'm reasonably good at that. I might be able to improve whatever it is with my XP, so I'll go ahead and offer an exchange. Oh, but they just want to do a trade, and I don't think I wanna trade away my only item, which is my legal document right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and back out of that. Resigned, the flail-wielding sergeant leaves the field. Training ground. An area of hard, bare ground where knights frequently duel. Some train to stay in shape, others simply for entertainment. The most diligent among them is the young son of Burgundian Prince Jean de Neve. So I can spend the day on fencing exercises, which requires a strength test and an item. And I don't have any relevant items, so I'm probably not doing that. Participate in today's fighting competition, also a strength test, something I am not good at. Or approach Jean de Neve. So I'm going to go ahead and do the one thing I might be able to do. You approach the young knight. He is training against two opponents. Pardon, madame, but I am in the middle of training. Please do not disturb me unless you can prove yourself a famous shield maiden. Then we might even have a duel. So I still don't really want to do either of the other things that require a strength test, but I will ask Deneve about my destiny. Hi, Dance Upon a Star. Thank you, Shane. Kill him. Genoa is a wealthy city, and this wealth pays for all their mercenaries. Perhaps they can share some of it for a good cause. Go to the Condo Thierry's camp and speak with General Spinola. So this is something we already knew about. So I'm just going to go ahead and end my turn. Yes, kill him strategy is spreading. The Caliph's relief force marching from Tunis is getting closer day by day. Its vanguard is already harassing our patrols. All right, refreshing an effort die. I now have all 3 of my effort dice, so I need to use them, or I will not be able to refresh another one next turn. So, where to next? I think I want to head this way to the warehouse. That was definitely one of the places that we were told to go. And then after that, maybe head down towards where these ruins are. So we haven't really talked about how movement works, but you are allowed to move up to 2 spaces in one action. However, when you move into an unexplored tile, you have to stop your movement, which is why I've only been able to really move 1 tile at a time up until now. But once we've moved into this tile, which is here, on my next turn, I'll be able to move. Even though I can't move diagonally, I can take 2 steps back to where we just came from and then down to the ruins and get there in 1 turn. So, into the warehouse area, a section of the camp full of boxes, crates, and barrels, storing everything the Crusaders might need. The warehouse stores all manner of supplies, from fresh water to firewood and ammunition. The quartermaster works tirelessly to organize the logistical nightmare. The jail is where the Crusaders store unwanted people. It is full of captives held with no cover from the scorching sun. Here we have the southern ramparts. And the Genoese sailors' camp and wharf. Feel like that might have been one of the places we were looking for. Yeah, Shane, that's I might need one of those too. Might need one of those jails. Okay. So these warehouses are definitely where what I want to look into on this turn. So I'm going to go straight there. Set up the quartermaster's trade stack. So I'm going into, I have stacks of items, and so I have a stack of cards that lets me, that represents these items. And the app is showing the numbers on those items. So the bow is number 4, the hatchet is number 5, the food is 7, and so on. So I'm going to go ahead and grab those out of the stack and put them into his trade stack. And then that will be available for me to buy items from if I decide to trade with him. So here we have 1 bow, 1 hatchet, 3 food. 1, 2, 3. And it's important to remember the number of items that are here, because in a multiplayer game, if I bought the bow, it would be gone. So then if someone else wanted to come here and buy items, there would no longer be a bow. The hatchet would still be there, food might still be there, but the bow would be gone. If I bought 1 food, there would still be 2 more. So that's why it's important to make sure you have the right number of items in there. Sword is item 14. I'm interested in the sword because this item, in addition to any ability that it might give me just by scanning it during a test, it also has an ability on it that lets me discard it, so that in a strength test, I don't have to roll any dice. I just automatically get a roll of 10, which currently would get me 2 successes, but I could use my my XP token to move some of my my pips down and make that potentially more like 3 or 4 successes. So this is potentially very strong for me for 1 strength test. So I'm very interested in the sword. Lantern and chainmail. I like the idea of chainmail because I also, in addition to not being very good at fighting, I'm not very good at protecting myself. Lantern. Each time you explore, you gain 1 XP. Well, that's also very interesting. I do like XP. And chainmail. Always. So this one, you don't have to use it. You don't have to discard it to use its effect. You just always get it. And you ignore all strength increasing effects, which means if you get an effect that hurts your strength, that is, that makes you move pips up the track, you just ignore it. That's quite nice. Right? It is quite an epic shop. Quite an epic shop. So now I have that all set up, and I will set that aside. Soldiers are running around trying to extinguish a fire, burning up a wood stockpile. The warehouse stores all manner of supplies, from fresh water to firewood and ammunition. Recently, there was a fire incident. People are looking for the saboteur who started the fire. The quartermaster wipes away his sweat with a cloth. Damn this heat, and our water supplies are so scarce. We absolutely must find a local source of water. Someone should search outside the camp. That's very interesting. So right away, we have a strength test. We also have the option to ask the quartermaster about our destiny, ask about an item, and trade. So the trade option is how we would get access to purchasing the items in this stack. And by the way, they all have a gold cost in the upper right corner. Everything costs 1 except the lantern and the chainmail, which each cost 2. And I have 3 gold because I start as the countess with 2 extra gold. So each character starts with 1, and then I started with 2 extra, so I have 3. So I'm going to start by asking the quartermaster about my destiny, because I always ask about my destiny. Tell me about my destiny. Please. Thank you. Supplying the camp with water from Malta is a huge drain on our budget. If you find us a local water source, I will reward you greatly. Well, that's interesting. I would definitely like to do that. I'm interested in trying to catch and apprehend this saboteur. But before I try to do anything with strength, I want to buy some stuff from the quartermaster's item stack. So he has a bow, which will let me use strength in a dexterity check. Interesting, not relevant to this current test. A hatchet, which gives you 2 automatic successes in a strength test one time. Food, which lets you refresh up to 2 of your purple dice. The sword that we've already talked about. The lantern, I like it, but it's expensive. And the chainmail, which I also like, and it's expensive, but I think I might need it. And I feel like it goes with the sword. So it's thematic, and it will let me turn my countess into the beginning of a shield maiden. So I am going to use my 3 gold to buy a sword and a chainmail from the quartermaster. Okay. Now, I'm also going to do the strength test, catch and apprehend the saboteur. But before I do that, I'm going to spend my XP token, which will let me improve my my strength by 2 pips. And I can either move 1 down by 2 spaces or 2 of them down by 1 each. And I think what I will do is move this one down by 2 spaces. So that now, when I use the sword, I will have 3 successes all within 10. And I'm just going to go ahead and do that. So I'm not rolling this time. I'm just discarding the sword that I just bought, which is going to let me have, in a strength test, don't roll any dice. Instead, your roll total equals 10. And because I just used my XP token, I have 3, my pips are at 5, 9, 10, and 11. So I'll have 3 successes. And I will discard the sword. You find the arsonist hiding among the barrels. He attacks you with a torch, but you quickly disarm and arrest him. I mean, kind of makes sense, I suppose. Hi, Steve. So I'm gaining a torch, and that will certainly be useful, although hopefully it won't, I won't wind up causing any fires like the one that broke out here. You bring the captured agent to Watchman d'Artois, who is hunting agents. Gain 1 XP. Now, that was definitely worth it. And I don't think I have any items that I want to ask about. How about get 'em? I like the way you think, Shane. Okay, so I did miss my opportunity there, as I mentioned, to use my effort dice so that I could refresh them here. So I'm at maximum effort dice and not able to refresh any of them. So going on to next spot, I think. Oh, we could do what I was talking about and go straight to the ruins, or we could check out this area directly to the south, which is, I think this is the, mentioned that this is the wharf. Yes, the Genoese sailor camp and wharf, or this is the ruins at the outskirts of camp. Chat, anybody have any preference about which one we do first? I think we should probably do both because I do think they have plans, or I do think there has been guidance that suggests that we might find useful things in both places. But if no one has any particular preference, I think I will go back to the original plan and go straight to the ruins. The mostly empty fringes of the camp. No one wanted to pitch their tents close to the ruins. The edge of camp is marked by weathered ruins. People say they are from the times of Christ himself. Thank you, Shane. Oh, we found the Coptic merchant. What do you look like? Is this you? Yes. All right. There is the Coptic merchant. The Crusaders have placed the arrested Coptic merchant's caravan in this inhospitable part of the camp. We've definitely been told to look for him. But we've also been told to check out these ruins. So we've got a couple of things that we might want to do here. I want to talk to this guy first. So start with him. Oh, he also has a trade stack. Isn't that interesting? So he has a lamp. What does the lamp do? This is a Saracen item and a fire item. Always, each time you explore, you may refresh one die. Camel. He has 2 camels. Instead of a regular move to any unexplored tile. And he also has 2 torches. Unfortunately, I have 0 money, so I won't be buying any of these things, at least currently, but this stack will remain here, so if I decide to come back, once I have some money, I will be able to buy them. Saracen items, something to either rub or hand in? It's possible. That's a good point. That might be something that the hospitalers are interested in. Certainly possible. This I'll put over here. This is his trade stack. Okay. The Crusaders have placed the arrested Coptic merchant's caravan in this inhospitable part of the camp. I'm a Christian, and yet you imprison us like infidels. Please get me a legal document allowing me to leave the camp so that I can go back to my family in Egypt. Well, that's interesting, because we happen to have a legal document. I feel like helping him might be the first step towards completing our destiny. That was definitely something that people said that we should be trying to do to get money, was to help him. So I'm interested in doing that, but I always want to talk about my destiny first. So let's see what he can tell me. You help me, I help you. Get me permission to leave, and I'll donate to your cause. All right, well, that just confirms my suspicion, my hope. So I can't trade with him because I don't have money to buy what he has. I don't really want to seize his goods by force because my strength is terrible. But give him documents allowing him to leave. That I can do. So I am now scanning the legal documents. Thank you for my release. This great sum will surely help you in your plan. You have gained the first portion of wealth that will help you operate independently of Duke Louis. Discard the legal document. All right. 1 of 4. I was not loved around here, but I made some good profit. I'll stay for a few days longer, just outside the gate. After thanking you, the merchant leaves the camp and sets up outside the ramparts. Okay. Remove the Coptic merchant. Yes, wealth to show Louis. Have to put him in his place. Few question you for giving the merchant permission to leave the camp. Most crusaders see that this was the right thing to do. Your virtue has been noticed by people around the camp. Give me 1 second here. That's better. Okay, well, that seems positive. My turn has ended. I still don't have an effort die to refresh, but I don't want to move this time because I just want to visit the ruins as well. There's more greenery growing here, and the fallen columns and crumbled walls hold many nooks and crannies. You can smell aromatic herbs hidden somewhere. Let's take a look around. This is a dexterity check. I am not great at dexterity, so I'm definitely going to use at least one of my dice, one of my purple dice. But now the question is, should I be using more than one? I don't know. I also have an XP token that I could spend here. That might be a good idea. Yeah, I'll go ahead and spend my XP. I'm going to move my 6 down to a 5 and my 9 down to an 8. And I'll use 2 purple dice for this. Sure. Why not? 3, 4, 6, 9. All right. I got 3 successes. Looking around, you notice a suspicious man, a Saracen. He is coming out of a hidden sewer. Gain 1 dexterity. Well, that's nice. Let's see. I'll make my 7 into a 6. That was totally worth it. Oh boy. There is more greenery growing here on the falling columns and crumbled wall. Oh, I've already read this. You notice a suspicious figure lurking around. Apprehend the agent. Well, I really want to do that, but strength test. Not good at those. Well, I have to try, right? And I do still have 1 purple die left. So I will go ahead and try this. To get a second success, to get a first success, I need a 5. To get a second success, I need a 9. So this is going to be tough, but it's worth a shot. Oh, but on my purple die, I rolled an automatic success. On my other 2 dice, I rolled a 4 and a 3, which is a total of 7. So I got 1 success from my numbers and a second success from my purple die. So 2 successes. You quickly disarm and arrest the agent. Gain scimitar. Item 104. That's cool. This is a weapon. In a strength test, also use all your dexterity. Well, that's very cool. The captured agent is very talkative to save his skin. There is a way to the city. You need to enter the old sewers. I'll show you the entrance. Once you're in, you must turn right, left, and then go straight. Ooh. All right. I'm going to make a note of this. Right, left, straight. This seems really useful. I feel like this is a place where we might easily get lost without a guide. Ooh. You bring the captured agent to Watchman d'Artois, who is hunting agents. Gain 1 XP. Oh, I'm glad we did that. You hunted down 2 of the Saracen agents. You deserve a big reward from the resources you've protected. You've obtained the second portion of the wealth you need. Yeah, I hope we can trust them. You're absolutely right. But that's 2 of 4, so we're halfway to completing our destiny here. Be on your guard. There are surely more of them. All right, so we gotta find 2 more of these agents, I guess, or maybe there's some other way for us to get the rest of this wealth. So with that in mind, I guess let's enter the sewers, and I think this is probably, hopefully, where we'll be using this. Ooh, I was hoping that this is where we would be using the directions that the agent gave us. And yes, you're absolutely right. As we might not be able to trust them, they might be leading us into a trap. Who, I mean, there's only one way to find out. But I don't have a better option. So, I mean, I suppose I could just not go. Uh, oh, but I do have a torch. So I am going to light my way. And the nice thing about this is so the torch has an effect that lets me use it uh, by discarding it, but I can also just use it in this situation to light my way, which doesn't cause me to discard it. I just scan it. It could cause me to discard it, but it's not automatic. So I will scan it and see what the app tells me to do. Yes. Yep, that's what Admiral Akbar says also. There's so much going on in the background here that's having a hard time focusing. Oh, you can do it, little webcam. I believe in you. There we go. With proper light, you step into the dark. The sewer branches into 2 tunnels. We can go left or right. And he said to go right and then left and then straight. So I'm going right. The sewers split into 2 tunnels once again. The sewers split into 2 tunnels once again. And now we'll go straight. You find an exit. It turns out the sewer leads straight into the city. You reach an underground section of a mosque. The spymaster might be interested in hearing about this hidden entrance. I'll kill them with kindness. Yes, I like it. You return to the surface. There was another enemy sortie at night. People say that the siege engines were saved by a brave condottiero named Muzio. They say he could do the impossible for the right coin. Interesting. Yes, yay for Notepad. This is an important thing to take a note of. So I need to go back to the spymaster and let him know about the secret entrance. So when we were there earlier, the spymaster had an option to let me talk to him and give him information. And at the time, I didn't have a whole lot to tell him about. I also didn't roll very well. So now I'm that's on my list of things to do is go back and tell him about what I've learned. And I get to refresh an effort die, which I have now. Okay, so with that in mind, I have a couple of options. I can go east to this, to tile 117. This is the wharf. So we might be able to find the Admiral there. I can also head back up towards where the spymaster is. I can I have a few other options. Just looking at the table right now, I've got actually over here. So yeah, I'm thinking about heading over to the wharf, see if I can find anything to learn anything from the admiral, and then maybe heading back up towards the spymaster and maybe exploring uh, some of these unexplored tiles over here from there, because I don't entirely have a plan from there. So let's head to the wharf. The port built by the Crusaders is constantly crowded and busy. This is where all supplies and reinforcements arrive. One calm place in the port's continual commotion is the Admiralty tent. Rowboats can constantly come and go, bringing various supplies from the ships anchored nearby. The sailors' camp is a loud and merry place. Sea shanties fill the air night and day. Okay, so we have the Admiralty tent, the wharf, and the sailors' encampment. And since I'm looking for the French admiral, now they did say I would find him on his flagship, but it's also the Admiralty tent, so I'm not sure whether I should be looking at the wharf, which seems like it doesn't really have a flagship at it, or in the Admiralty tent, which might have an admiral in it. Cute, Shane. When you get to the wharf, tell him to say hi to Data for me. Approaching the tent, you hear a fiery argument. Suddenly, French Admiral de Vienne rushes out of the tent with a red face and heads for his ship. Well, that makes more sense. Oh, yes, okay. This pompous French admiral refuses to come ashore and cooperate with us. So we can talk with Admiral Adorno about my destiny, which I always like to do. Or we have the option to buy a boat from the captain for 2 gold, which would be nice, except that we don't have 2 gold. So I will go ahead and talk with the admiral about my destiny. I heard that this damned French Admiral de Vienne has his own plans to pillage the coast. This might bring you some money you need. Okay, well, since I can't buy a boat, I will end my turn. And refresh an effort die. Okay, so I can go to the wharf, which is now where probably not Data, maybe Data, maybe not. But also possibly where the French admiral who I'm looking for is, or the general. Also, there's also the general Spinola who I'm looking for, but I think that he's actually in the Condo Thierry's encampment. Or I can start heading back up towards the spymaster, which I'm a little more inclined to do. So since I can move 2 spaces on my way back up, I'm going to go ahead and go to Condo Thierry's encampment. I have lots of options here. This is the rectangular plaza where the soldiers arm wrestle. There's a huge man who we've heard about, Muzio, who brags about his bravery. He claims that for a good price, he would assault the walls alone. The general worries. Tensions are rising. That's right. This is where the soldiers want them to pay more, or to pay them now, rather. Oh, excuse me. Well, now I have the option to try to hire Muzio for 6 gold. I have 0 gold, so I will not be hiring Muzio. It would be nice to bet a gold to enter an arm wrestling competition, but I also have no gold and probably can't win an arm wrestling competition. But I'm willing to try the negotiation again. It's worth a try. And my intelligence is a little better now. I do have an intelligence to spend. Not an intelligence, sorry. An XP to spend on my intelligence. But I might want to save that. Maybe not. I'll go ahead and spend it. Okay. I rolled a 5. I think that was the same number I rolled last time, which is 1 success. I don't think that's going to do it. Once again, I get the option to break the nose of the mainsayer, bribe the main naysayer, or resign. I know, Shane, you really want me to steal that gold, but my dexterity isn't very good either. And I'm not sure it's such a good idea to steal gold. I want to be a good guy. I really don't know if it's a good idea to use any of the stuff I have to try to bribe him. I can try to break his nose. I think I tried it last time. It wasn't such a great idea, but I do now have the chainmail, which will let me ignore all all strength negative effects. So, and this isn't always. I don't have to discard it when that happens. So that's potentially going to mitigate the downside of trying to break the nose of the main naysayer. So I'm willing to take that risk. So I'm not going to use an effort die here. I'm just going to take my chances. And I rolled a 5, which is 1 success. Again, probably not enough, but maybe. Nope. And I do lose 1 intelligence, which does kind of suck, but I'll be okay. Okay. And I don't lose a strength because of my chainmail. And on that note, I don't think I want to do any of these other things, so I'm just going to end my turn here. Refresh an effort die. Okay. And now I want to go back to the command tent and Louis' tent space, the tile where we started, because this is where the spymaster is. So I'm going to go ahead and talk to the spymaster in Louis' tent. Oh, and so I don't even have to go through the cell information test. I can go straight to inform the spymaster about the underground way into the city's mosque. And that's what I'm here to do. Most interesting, the small entrance is not suited for a major assault, but it could be useful for a major diversion during the attack. The spymaster promises to organize a strong diversion which will help in your assault. You have finished the initial siege preparations. Gain 1 coin. Well, Shane, I didn't steal it, but I did manage to get a coin. Thank you. Now, selling information to the spymaster, I'd love to do that. I don't know whether I have much to tell him, but it might be worth a try. Then I'll go ahead and use an effort die for that. I rolled a 5. Again, only one success. And he already knew. So no real downside other than using that effort die. And I don't really have any items that I don't know what they are, so I don't have anything I really need to ask him about. So I'm just going to end my turn. Refresh an effort die. So with that in mind, I guess I have some options now. I can explore pretty much in any direction. And I'm kind of thinking maybe going down towards, let's go. I'm thinking maybe heading over this way and looking at some of these, checking out something like this, like 134 and going over this way. Oh, excuse me. So looking at the northern part of the ramparts and then heading down across the a wall to see what the rest of this area looks like. So this is the Crusaders' ramparts, city walls, and a scorched field between them. Need the sappers. So I'm just looking through the minis to find these guys. There they are. Okay. And the northern ramparts. There is movement beneath the walls. Genoese crossbowmen exchange fire with defenders. Okay, so here we are. I think I want to check out the northern ramparts and see what I can learn about this area. Just as you approach the walls, a Saracen sortie ambushes the outnumbered crossbowmen who were exchanging fire with the defenders. Charge to help them or flee. Well, I have the scimitar, but I would have to discard it to use it. I do have the chainmail still. Would like to help them. Any thoughts, chat? Should I charge in to help them or should I flee? Oh, let's give it a try. Oh, it goes straight into a strength check. Okay. Well, I think I'm going to have to use the scimitar to try to have any chance at success here. So in a strength test, also use all of your dexterity. So I will discard my scimitar. Rolling 3 dice. And I have a 5, 9, 10, 11 in strength, but 5, 6, 8, 11 in dexterity. I rolled a 5. It's not taking great advantage of that, but I did get 2 successes. You beat them. Yes. You take down a few attackers before they withdraw. The surviving crossbowmen hail you as a hero. You become famous as a formidable fighter. Gain 2 strength. Well, that was awesome. All right. Well, my strength is not so bad now. It's still not great, but it's not so bad. There is movement beneath the walls. Genoese crossbowmen exchange fire with defenders. We can scout the northern approach, scavenge the battlefield, take a night watch, searching the dark with, well, I don't need to. I do still have a torch. I am going to try. I'm going to start by trying to scavenge the battlefield. I want stuff. But I'm only rolling my 2 white dice here. I don't want to use my effort die for this. I rolled a 6, which gets me 2 successes. You find some small valuables. Gain 1 gold. Nice. And now I'll scout the northern approach. And I will do the same thing. This time I also rolled a 6. The northern walls are definitely in the worst condition, so this might be a good spot for an attack. You easily find spots where you could climb up safely, even with only a rope. Let's keep that in mind. Because of the wall's bad condition, there's always a strong enemy presence and a lot of activity here on both sides. Fortunately, the approach has a few spots to take cover along the way that could help you sneak to the wall, but the distances between them are less than ideal. Gain 1 dexterity. Also very cool. And now I will take a night watch, and I will use my torch. Do it. I believe in you. This is a extended use torch. It takes a little extra effort to get it lit, but once it's going, it lasts forever. You got this, torch. You can do it. Mm. It really has been very, very naughty, frustrating. But now it's working. It's all good. Using the light, you watch the no man's land shrouded in darkness. You feel tired, but the captain of the watch pays you for your help. Gain 1 gold. Exhaust 1 of your effort dice. Ah, that's frustrating. I went to so much effort to keep that die, and I wound up losing it anyway, but that's okay. Your turn ends. I get the die back, but I was kind of hoping to have 2 there. I am now going to head down to the center, the city gate ramparts. A dusty dirt road leads to the strong gate, flanked by 2 imposing towers. No man's land leading to the gate. Guards from both sides are constantly watching it. A dozen carpenters are working to build ladders and other siege equipment. So here, I'm thinking I want to check out the central ramparts. Same kind of thing as with the northern ramparts. I just have a. I mean, I know that we're planning an attack here, and I just kind of want to learn more about what we're facing. No man's land leading to the gate. Scout the central approach to the walls, or take a night watch. Let's scout. And I will use my effort die here. 6, 7. 3 successes, thanks to having the opportunity to improve my my dexterity on the last checks. The gate is flanked by 2 strong towers, and the walls are strongest and highest here, so a major assault here might be ill-advised. Only with a siege ladder could one hope to get access. Frank, this is the Destinies Sea of Sand expansion. This was part of the Kickstarter, but it's also now being shipped to retail stores. So if you didn't back the Kickstarter and you wanted to buy this, and if you already have Destinies, or if you're interested in picking it up, this is something that you can get in retail stores, or you will be able to get it in retail stores soon. And thank you, S. So, yeah, you've also got your answer in chat. The gate is garrisoned day and night due to its importance, but fortunately, the terrain features here might make it possible to sneak up to the walls. Gain 1 dexterity. Wow. All right, that's really nice. Now I have to decide. I have a 5, 6, and 7 in dexterity and also an 11. So do I want to try to make my 11, start moving my 11 down? Or do I want to just make my 5 into a 4 and make everything like really easy? Probably 5 into a 4. Lurking closer to the walls, you notice a wounded knight hiding in the shrubbery. He is pinned down under fire. You think you have noticed everything there is to see here. I mean, I feel like once we noticed him, we should probably be focused on that. Run toward the knight to help him. Oh boy. Well, I mean, chainmail might help me protect myself from arrows, but my dexterity is pretty good. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and try to dodge the arrows with dexterity. Now, the downside of this is that I have no effort dice to roll in support of this. So fingers crossed here, guys. I rolled 5. That gets me 1 success. That's not great. Both you and the knight are hit by arrows. A wound to your arm weakens you, but the man is even less lucky, taking an arrow through his heart. Well, the good news is I don't lose strength because I have the chainmail. Your selfless act of courage to help the man inspires everyone in the camp. Lord Engarad approaches you. Your virtue is an inspiration to us all. I have already convinced many knights to help fund your just cause. You've obtained the 3rd portion of the wealth you need. Wow. I did not see that coming. Did anyone else see that coming? All right. Well, we need one more of the one more portion of wealth, and we'll be able to go back to fulfill our destiny. And with that, I'm going to end my turn. The Caliph's army is halfway here and has already reached Sousse. Scouts report that the city's emir has further bolstered the Caliph's forces with his soldiers. All right, I get to refresh an effort die. Yep, just one more and we'll be ready to face Louis. Big jerk. Okay. So, looking back at the table now, we have some options from here. We can go ahead and scout out the second, or this 3rd part of the ramparts, the southern ramparts, I'm assuming. And then we can potentially head up into this area, which I don't actually remember exactly what these 2 areas are. Nice thing is that if we look within the app, it will actually let us see. This is the French part of the camp. This is the top part, and off to the left, this is the camp area hosting crusaders from all over Europe. So I'm not quite ready to head over there yet. I want to head down to the southern part first. But it's nice to know that we have the option. If you're ever wondering where you've been or what you haven't checked out yet, you can always just click on them to see the name of the space, which is nice because while you do need to take notes while you're playing, at least for this expansion, it certainly helps. At least for the names of the tiles that you haven't explored yet, once it tells you, you can always go back in the app and look to see what that was. Okay, so southern ramparts. A heat haze distorts the distant view of the southern walls. A lone knight stands at the edge of the bowshot range, examining the plain between him and the wall. Positioned on a slight elevation, the bombardiers operate small catapults, vainly trying to batter the solid walls. I need to find the bombardiers mini. There we go. There we go. And let's just follow the plan from before and check out the southern ramparts. A lone knight stands at the edge of bowshot range. I am Gadifer de la Salle, the tactician at your service. I'm scouting the walls, looking for weaknesses in the enemy defenses. Let's ask him about our destiny. What do you have to say? Watchman d'Artois is hunting Saracen agents within our camp. The last I heard, he was looking for one around the French camp. Speak with him about it. Well, that's certainly useful information. We just got a little reminder that we have an unexplored tile that is the French camp up towards the northwest area, and that appears to be maybe where we might be able to find the last agent that we need. I do want to scout the southern approach, but I think first I want to talk to the tactician about planning the attack. Where are the walls in the worst condition so we can get in easily, even with a rope? Well, I'm pretty sure that when we visited the northern part, it told us that that's exactly what. I'm pretty sure that was the exact description that it gave us. So that's what I'm going to pick here. Where does their wall seem to be undermanned? I don't remember that being mentioned, but since we haven't scouted the southern ramparts yet, I'm going to pick the southern part. Where might it be easiest to sneak to the walls? That one I'm a little less sure about. But I think I'm going to go. It's either northern or southern. It's definitely not around the gate. That's about the only. I definitely should have scouted before I did this. I'm going to go with southern. This does not seem right compared to my own observations. Take another look. The entire plan depends on it. Okay, well, that's fair. I'm going to go ahead and scout here. I will use one effort die. Wow. I rolled very badly. I rolled a 4 on 3 dice. 2, 1, 1. That gives me 1 success. You were noticed, and guards start shooting at you. Lose a strength, which I don't lose because I have the chainmail, but I do gain an XP, which is nice. Protect yourself or flee. Oh, well, let's see. Maybe chainmail? I kind of wish I had a shield, but I know a webcam. I don't want to use the chainmail for this either, but it's what I've got. Your armor protects you successfully. Okay. Yes. I need some chainmail. Very good. You're the worst. All right. Well, the last time I took a night watch, I searched the dark with my torch. I failed my check and I lost, although it was a dexterity check. Maybe I'll try it one more time. Although I definitely failed my webcam check like a lot of times. I know you can scan this card. You got this webcam. Focus. You can do it. Oh, this almost makes me want to not do this check. I don't know why it has so much trouble specifically with this card. Because it doesn't seem like it has anything to do with the card. I think it's about the webcam. And the light. I actually feel like it might be about the glare. All right. This is my last attempt. Oh, there it is. Okay. Using the light, you watch the no man's land shrouded in darkness. You feel tired, but the captain of the watch pays you for your help. Okay, I got a gold. I don't have any dice to exhaust, so that worked out. The frequent patrols discourage the defenders from trying any tricks. No attempts to enter the camp under the cover of night have been reported in a long time, and there is no longer a need for additional night guards. The enemy relief force is already within marching distance of our camp. Our patrols report that they have halted their advance, probably waiting for the proper moment to strike or waiting for even more reinforcements. Okay. So I want to head towards the French camp, which I can't get to in one move. So I'm going back to... Where will I go on my way there? I'm going to go check out the sappers. Actually, I'll do this. Under the cover of Genoese crossbowmen, the sweat-covered sappers are digging the trench toward the walls. The closer they get to the walls, the more dangerous their work becomes because of an infamous enemy sharpshooter. We need more hands at work here, or we'll not finish until winter, they complain. All right. We can speak with them about our destiny. We can buy a crossbow. And I have 2 gold now. Let's see what the crossbow does. On your turn start, you may increase 1 dexterity to decrease 1 strength. So you can make your dexterity a little worse to make your strength a little better. So that's what would happen if I bought the crossbow. And that's interesting. I don't think my dexterity is quite good enough to merit buying that. And I also have the option to fight the sharpshooter. Now, I don't have any weapons, so I don't think I want to do that. But I will speak with the sappers about my destiny. I will let you know when I've killed them with kindness, Shane. Thank you for coming. Okay, sappers. I want you to tell me about my destiny. I want you to work with my webcam and tell me about my destiny. Let's just gotta get this focus right here. I do think it's a combination of the stuff in the background and the glare. I hear French Admiral de Vienne has a plan to gain some funds. To speak with him, you must reach his flagship by boat from the beach up north or the wharf to the south. Okay. That's good to know. All right, so I'm refreshing an effort die. That makes me think that maybe before we go, well, we actually could now reasonably go to either of these other spots, because we could go to the northernmost tile to try to get to the French Admiral, or we could go to this tile to the west and try to capture the last agent. And I think I might want to do that. So here's the camp area hosting crusaders from all over Europe. Wait, maybe that's not where I want to be. Is this? Yes, I got them mixed up. I want to go to this tile for both of those options. So this is the French part of camp, tile 115. The northern part of camp is occupied by the colorful tents of the French knights and their closest retinue. Place the French encampment. Watchman d'Artois patrol. Okay. A watchman and his armed retinue move among the tents looking for someone. And at the beach, the fleet bearing French banners is anchored close to their brethren. A rowboat and a few bored sailors wait on a sunny beach. Outskirts of the camp with servants' quarters. So we have another tile to potentially explore. Okay, so there's possibly 2 places here that we might be able to get that 4th piece of wealth. I want to start with the French encampment, where they said that they were looking for someone, which I believe is the agent that we're looking for. I may have selected the wrong option here. Okay, so let's speak with the stable master about the Destiny. It's good to know we can buy a horse here, but it's a little late. A horse helps you move around the map. You can discard it instead of a regular move to any explored tile. Visit the quartermaster in the warehouses at the center of the camp. Resolving his supply problems might free up some coin. I feel like we already knew about that. So I could buy a horse and then do one of these options here. And I don't have anything that might help heal the horses. I could socialize with the French knights. My intelligence is reasonably good, but I kind of want to save my effort dice. So I'll do this, but I'm not going to spend... oh, no. But I'm not going to spend any effort dice on it. And I got 2 successes. I rolled a 7. I heard French Admiral de Vienne is not cooperating with the Genoese Admiralty. The pompous bastard is hiding in his flagship at sea. The French almost turned this into their private crusade. The English are not happy about that. All right. Refresh and effort die. Let's try this one more time. Of course, it's the patrol. I don't know what I was thinking. Yes. A watchman and his armed retinue move among the tents looking for someone. It might be time for some piracy. But we might be able to find this agent right now and get the 4th piece of wealth before we even go to sea. Greetings, I'm Philip d'Artois, a camp watchman. Have you seen anyone suspicious around here? We're looking for Saracen vermin spying in our camp. I'm going to go ahead and help him search. Wow. I rolled 3 1s. That's terrible. On the bright side, I get an XP. And I can ask him about my destiny, but I don't think this is going to help a whole lot. So if it doesn't cooperate quickly, I'm going to pass. So I don't feel like there's much he can tell me that I don't already know. So I kind of want to go back and see if we can try to find that guy again, because I have 2 XP that I can spend right now to improve that roll. I have 3 effort dice that I can use. And yes, I do have the opportunity to help search again. So I'm going to go ahead and use one of my XP to improve my dexterity. And I really don't want to fail it again. So I'm going to go ahead and actually, you know what? I should just do both of these. Bring this one down also. And I'm going to use 2 effort dice here. 3, 6, 8, 10. Ha! This time I got 4 successes, which I really hope is more than enough. You found the man. Soldiers quickly surround him and force him to surrender. The agent turned out to be an assassin. One can only wonder who his intended target was. You take his mysteriously decorated dagger. Well. Thanks for coming, Steve. I appreciate your being here and always enjoy having you on the stream. Assassin's dagger. Ritual Saracen weapon. This is very cool. Always, if you Get at least 4 successes in a test to gain a gold. Well, I just got 4 successes for the first time ever in a test. But also, this is a very interesting item because it's rather suspicious, would you say? Odd, perhaps? It's a ritual Saracen weapon. I feel like the Hospitallers might be interested in that. You bring the captured agent to Watchman d'Artois, who is hunting agents. Gain 1 XP. The watchman and his men head toward the canteen on the training grounds. Okay, so they are moving way over here. And that's the end of my turn. So refresh and effort die. So now I kind of feel like I want to go back to the Hospitallers with this ritual dagger. That might be the way to their heart. But then again, there is this beach option right here. I don't have to move to get to it. Yeah, that's probably the way to go. Let's be pirates. The fleet bearing French banners is anchored close to their brethren. A rowboat and a few bored sailors wait on a sunny beach. They are testing their aim by tossing small rocks at a palm tree. The French admiral doesn't want any non-personnel on board. We ain't breaking this order, they declare rudely. Make the sailors' day nicer with an assassin's dagger? Launch a boat. I would need to buy a boat. I don't have a boat. Relax on the sandy beach until sunset. That sounds nice. Or join the rowers in their aiming contest. Yeah! Yo ho! Yep. It's a pirate's life for me. Well, I don't really think I can actually make their day nicer. But maybe they'll help me if I join them in an aiming contest. And I rolled a 6, which is going to get me 3 successes. You win a small bet. You have a good eye. I get a gold and 1 dexterity. Now I guess I will just relax here. Oh, I feel refreshed. Refresh all your effort dice. Very nice. But now my turn ends. I refresh an effort dice, and I have none to refresh. Okay. I think it does make sense now to head back to the Hospitallers. So I can't get there all at once, but I can go command tent and then into this empty space, this unexplored space. The most colorful part of the siege camp, home to smaller groups of crusaders of various nationalities. Most of the guest camp is occupied by English knights who are sticking together in the French-dominated expedition. The most extravagant tent belongs to a Bohemian Jew known as the Alchemist. I was told to stay away from him. And although I am moving here, I don't even think I'm going to go to either of these spaces. I'm just going to end my turn and continue on to the Hospitallers encampment on my next turn. All right. Yes, I have found something suspicious. I have found this suspicious ritual dagger. Will you take this from me? So I am in the process of scanning this item. Still having some problems with the webcam focusing. Now listen here, webcam. I know you didn't want me to use that item before, but this one I'm pretty confident about. Come on. You can do it. I believe in you. You got this. It's so suspicious that the webcam doesn't even want to scan it. It's like, I don't even want to focus. I want none of this. I want no part of this suspicious item. Why are you even trying to show this to me? Okay. We have to take extreme measures here. Webcam. There we go. These engravings are curious. This is ancient indeed. Thank you for bringing it. So we discard the dagger, gain an XP, and gain a coin. I want more than that. I need wealth. Aha! You may have saved many lives by bringing these to us. We will reward you with something from our coffers. Ricardo hands you a golden casket filled with gold. You've gathered enough wealth to fund your own vision of the campaign. It's time to spend this money and do things your way. Go to Louis to speak about expenses. All right, let's do it. So I'm heading back to Louis' tent. Hey, all right, we got a raid. Very cool. Just in time to see me complete my destiny. So I have just gotten the last piece that I need of wealth. I'm heading back to Louis' tent to discuss my expenses. Louis welcomes you with enthusiasm. You actually made it. I admit, my love, you really are thrifty. What have you gathered? We've actually done all of these things. You are actually our very first ever Twitch raid. That's so exciting. Our knights acted nobly by donating this money. It was you who inspired them. I saved many resources from Saracen sabotage. A well-deserved reward. The damage done by these men could have been huge. I obtained money from the Coptic merchant we had under arrest. This money is a good prize for his freedom. Copt or not, he was no friend of our cause. The Hospitaller Order has shared some of its treasures with me. They are perhaps gloomy, but godly men. I'm glad they decided to share some of their wealth. It's your money. You've earned it. Go to the quartermaster. Let us see what you will prepare. Yes, thank you, Luzapalooza. This is awesome. Really happy to have you here. You have accumulated a great sum, madame. How would you like to invest it? Well, we have some options here. We can hire siege engineers, hire more ships, buy more supplies, hire more mercenaries, buy modern bombards, buy more arms and armor. My first instinct here is to buy modern bombards, and then maybe after that I kind of lean towards siege engineers. We should get these from Naples. I know a few professionals. I will contact them. Madame, with your current funds, you can afford only 2 more such expenses. Okay, so we get to buy a total of 4 because we had 4 sources of wealth. So what else should we do? We can buy more ships, supplies, mercenaries, or arms and armor. Chat, any thoughts? I mean, I feel like we can never really go wrong with supplies. But maybe for the fourth one, I mean, I'm not sure that any of them are going to be a bad choice, but I'll start with buy more supplies. I'll order those at once. I will go to war, but first, yes, I need to make one more choice. Mercenaries? Mercenaries. We'll hire Sicilian we will hire Sicilian Condo Thierry. I believe this is all we can afford, madame. I will notify you as soon as they arrive. Go to check preparations on other assets you've prepared. Speak with the spymaster about a feint attack. The spymaster assures you he will organize a feint attack the moment you reach the walls. I believe this is all we can afford. I will notify you as soon as they arrive. Okay. The next morning, you convene a war council with officers loyal to you. Where do we attack? The northern part, around the gate, or in the southern part? Well, now I'm very glad that we scouted because we have clear information from doing those scouting runs that the northern part is the weakest of the options, and that would be a good choice. Exact plan of attack in the northern area based on the strategy based on bombardment, material advantage and reserves, or strength of arms, or a balanced strategy. No matter which one of these we choose, it's going to be an intelligence test. Uh, I kind of lean towards bombardment of these options. And I rolled an 8, which gets me 3 successes. This solid plan will help bring the walls down. Everyone agrees on the course of action. Once newly purchased assets arrive, the assault can commence. Plentiful supplies have arrived. The soldiers will be well provisioned for tomorrow's attack. That sounds promising. Sicilian mercenaries arrive and set up their camp. They will be ready for tomorrow's attack. New modern bombards are placed in positions for tomorrow's attack. Bombardment! People gonna get them killed. Newly arrived engineers join our siege specialist at the ramparts. All the pieces are in place. The attack will commence tomorrow at dawn. Okay. The Crusader army is gathered at the ramparts beneath the walls, awaiting your orders. At sunrise, Crusader artillery starts pounding the wall. Direct the bombardment or look for weaknesses in the wall. I think I want to look for weaknesses in the wall. So the bad news is I rolled a 4 on 2 dice, a 3 and a 1, but on my effort die, I rolled an automatic success. So the 4 is 1 success, and the auto success is 2. Excuse me. I definitely thought I had. Thank you. I am, or not anymore. I was. I muted so I could sneeze. Okay, so I had rolled my green dice, completed that, and I'm now rolling my. I'm rolling 2 effort dice for my intelligence test because my intelligence is nowhere near as good as my dexterity anymore. Thank you. Yes, the dreaded sneeze mute. Wow. Okay. I rolled 5, which is 1 success on 4 dice. Guys, I rolled 3 ones and a 2. Bombardment has had little effect so far. New heavy bombards are ready to fire. Perhaps they will make a difference. You use your good supply and ammunition reserves to continue the bombardment with full intensity. Refresh all your effort dice. That's very nice. You continue pounding the walls. Okay. I will do the same thing again, and hopefully I will get a better roll this time. I did. 9. Yes, that's 4 successes. That is significantly better. Part of the wall collapses. A breach has been created. You can order a general assault. Now, I have 2 choices. Give orders from the rear as an intelligence test, or lead the attack personally, strength test. My intelligence is way better than my strength, so I will give orders from the rear. Now, the downside is I've already used 2 of my 3 effort dice, so I only have 1 to add to this roll. But I rolled quite well. 7, 9. I rolled another 9, which is another 4 successes. That was very unexpected. Your forces slowly advance up the collapsed rubble, but the enemy maintains a strong defense. You order your mercenaries to enter the fray. Perhaps they will make a difference. Oh boy, I have to do this again, and now I have no effort dice. Urgh. Only 1 success this time. I got a 5. Oh, this is rough. The enemy valiantly holds the breach against your forces. Despite your valiant efforts, the defenders hold. You call off your forces to rest and prepare for the next day. Your turn ends. Okay. Well, maybe this time I can get this, I can knock this out in 1 try, because I still only have 1 effort die to use here. 7. That is 2 successes. Under constant pressure, the enemy withdraws. A large part of the walls is in the Crusaders' hands. Your forces secure the breach and burst into the city. You follow the soldiers and reach the top of the walls. During a moment to catch your breath, you look down at the city and see fires and smoke at the far end of the peninsula. This looks too serious to be one of the spymaster's feints. The slaves must have taken up arms in revolt. This will divert part of the remaining enemy forces. Victory is yours! More and more soldiers pour through the walls. They all cheer as they shout your name. Viva la Anne! Viva la Anne! Follow the Countess! You throw down the caliph's flags and raise your banner of the county of Forez. Your moment of triumph is suddenly interrupted by a powerful horn. You look back toward the camp and you see that it has come under attack. The caliph's forces were already there, and they picked the right moment to attack. You instantly realize that the camp's rear defenses will not hold, and capturing the city but losing the camp would be a total disaster. Call for a retreat. Call the retreat. Fall back. To me, soldiers of Christ. The caliph is upon us. To me, you shout. For the countess. Soldiers shout all around you as they rush forward, following your lead. You win. The city's defenders were about to break when the caliph's relief force attacked. Immediately recognizing the danger, the countess rallied the panicked crusaders and withdrew the forces from the city in good order to face the new threat. The troops rallying under her banner rushed to save the camp and the surrounded Duke Louis, who led the defenses. When the Saracens were finally repulsed, everyone hailed the Countess as a savior, the brave lady of Mahdia. Duke Louis himself bowed to his wife, recognizing her bravery and superior leadership. By the end of the campaign, she became the true leader everyone looked for. End scenario. Yes, success. And that is, thank you. Thank you, Az. Well, he says, well done, Countess Bree. I appreciate that. So yes, this was Destiny's Sea of Sand, the first scenario of 3. And this is so Destinies is the base game is currently in stores, in retail stores, US and in across Europe. And Destiny's Sea of Sand is shipping now to stores. We expect it to be in retail stores in US in mid-December, and in Europe by either late December, early January. So thank you all for joining the stream, and I hope to see you next week for our next one. Bye.